Hey everyone, this is Giancarlo Veronini coming to you from BlizzCon 2009. I'm joined by Kevin and Leonard from Blizzard Entertainment, and we're here to talk a little bit about Diablo 3. And obviously, the big announcement is the new class, the Monk. Can you tell us a little bit about what you guys are showing here at this year's show?
Well, the Monk's really fun. He is a total martial arts fantasy fulfillment. He kicks a ton of ass, and at Blizzard we have a lot of monsters to shovel at you, and he can kill them as fast as you can send them. He contrasts really nicely with the Barbarian. The Barbarian is like a solid tank, like an M1 Abrams tank, and this guy's more like a Delta Force unit that can sneak all over the place and slaughter things like crazy. So it's really fun. We're really happy to reveal him, and we look forward to revealing more in the future.
Were you worried at all about, since there's an assassin class in Diablo 2, were you worried at all that people might think initially, oh, well, what's the difference between the assassin and the monk?
No, I think that this guy, he stands out. His background stands out. The lore and the story that you're going to learn about him and his background it shows off some cool new parts of the world as well. So he's got a really different style of gameplay. He is fast like the assassin, but the moves that he does and the tactics that he uses in the minute-to-minute gameplay is a lot different than the assassin. It's a really cool difference, actually.
Can you guys talk a little bit about what went into designing the skills that he has? Obviously, they are a little bit different, or a lot different, I should say, than something like the Barbarian. One thing that I really liked is the exploding palm. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. What we were going for is we really wanted to have kind of a fight game feel. So what we did is we approached it like a combo system, but Diablo moves so fast and the monsters you fight die so quickly that we had to do something that was very accessible. But part of the design for the Monk was that he would be a character that had the depth for maybe your more hardcore players. He'd be maybe a more challenging character as well. So you can combine some of his combo moves, but you could also just spam your left mouse button and you would do combos automatically. So it's kind of cool. You have those different levels with him, as opposed to maybe some of the other characters that are just kind of like it's a plain switching skills type thing, where with him, some of his skills build on each other. Our goal with him is to make him very combo oriented.
It's not just the combos that the Monk himself has, it's how he works with the other classes as well. So, if the Barbarian is going to be your tank and he's going to anchor a whole huge amount of characters together, the Monk can't take the same amount of damage, but he can run in behind them and set up some exploding palms. The Barbarian can do a stomp and stun everybody, and then they all blow up together in some giant cascade of blood, and it's really awesome. So the abilities have a lot of depth, not just with the Monk, but with all of the classes that he plays with as well.
How difficult is it to balance these classes? I mean, do you ever run into a case where you think this one attack is really cool and you really want to keep it in, but it's just way overpowered?
We do run into that, and we tend to bring everybody else's power up as opposed to make that one less powerful. So that's sort of one of the Blizzard design philosophies. If it's awesome, don't make it less awesome. Maybe make it harder to get, or bring everyone else up to the same level of awesome. We iterate endlessly, and this is one of the reasons it takes the games a long time to make, is because we want to make sure everything's perfect and play it thousands and thousands of times to make sure it's all perfectly working well together before we release it.
Can you talk a little bit about how the quest system has evolved? It seems like in the level that you guys have here that obviously you have sort of your main quest, but there's a lot more sort of side quests to keep you busy. Has that really been a focal point with Diablo 3?
It has been, yeah. People saw at BlizzCon last year we had a few quests and something more linear. This year the area is a lot more wide open. There's a huge expansive area and a lot of different little events and scenes, and they're all very randomized. So, the Diablo 2 story was fairly linear. In this case, there's a lot of different things that you can do in any given playthrough. There's different plots, there's different twists on the story, and as you go through it, especially in this area, you're going to see all sorts of different combinations of quests and stories and adventures. So we're trying a lot of things out, and we're really curious to see what the feedback will be.
And when can we expect Diablo 3 to be released?
After a lot of iteration and careful consideration when it's done.
All right, great. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Stay tuned at GameSpot for more coverage of BlizzCon 2009.